Hi, and welcome to a PowerShell quick tip video. It's been a while since we've done one of these, so I figured we would make another one. And today we are going to be looking at the commandlet of Get-CimInstance. Now, there are some situations where in PowerShell 5.1 you would have to use Get-CimInstance. In PowerShell 6 and PowerShell 7, they have created other commandlets now that make some of the uses that we used to use Get-CimInstance not useful anymore. But there are still a bunch of other informations that you can get from CimInstance. I'll be going over the one that we used to use it all the time for. I'll show you the replacement, but I'll show you the benefits of the Get-CimInstance. And then we'll go through a couple other use cases of Get-CimInstance. So really what that commandlet is used for is to get information from your local computer, or you can actually use it remotely as well. It does come with a computer name parameter, so you can actually execute this on remote computers. So if you have a large organization or even a medium organization and you need to grab tons of information off of some computers that you don't actually have physical access to, it is a great commandlet to be able to use. So let's actually go ahead and let's get started here. We are going to do a get-sim instance. And then the primary use of this is going to be with the class name parameter. Now, when you actually go in here, you will actually get a bunch of different class names here. There are hundreds and hundreds of these. The first one that we're going to be starting off with is just going to be win32 underscore operating system. So if we actually just run this as it is right now, we basically get a system directory, the organization, build number, registered user, serial number, and the version. But we can actually get more information if we actually pipe this to a select dash object or just select and then a star. We will actually get tons of more information. So we can actually get the Windows directory, the system drive, the systems directory, the serial number, registered user, as we've seen earlier. We can actually get the languages, the manufacturer, which is going to be Microsoft because it's Windows. We can see the encryption level. There is a build number, the version number. We'll also see the virtual memory size and the visible memory size. We also get, this is where it used to be very useful, we also get the local date time and the last boot up time. So this is how we used to figure out how long a computer was on for. I'm going to show you the rest of the script of how to figure out how long the computer was on for, but as we can see here, the last boot up time for the computer is January 10th, 2023, and right now, as you can see in the local date time, it is 2023 1/21, so it is January 21st. So that is all good there. So we will actually see how long the computer has been on for. We can also see when it was actually installed or configured here. So we can actually see it was configured on September 3rd of 2022. So that is also very, very useful information. And then, yeah, so that's pretty much all you really need to know with Get-CimInstance. Now we're going to be looking at some other classes because that is really where the commandlet gets different. But just to let you guys know, for the boot up time, if you have PowerShell 6 or PowerShell 7, you can actually use get uptime, and it will tell you the exact amount of time that this computer has been up for. So as we can see here, it's been up for 10 days and 16 hours. We will actually get this response just from using Get-CimInstance. But if you do have PowerShell 6 or 7 available to you on the computers, you can use get uptime, but you only get the uptime. You don't get any of the other info that you would get from Get-CimInstance. So CimInstance definitely still has its place in PowerShell. So let's go ahead and let's get the last boot up time here. So what I would do is I would just create a variable called last boot time, and I would just make that equal to our Get-CimInstance operating system win32, and then we would just do a dot last boot up time, and that should give me the last boot up time, and it does. Perfect. So once we actually put that in there, if we just create another variable called uptime, we make that equal to get date. And actually, we're going to wrap get date in a variable wrapper. You could also just wrap it in parentheses, but we're just going to do it that way. And we are going to do minus last boot time. So if we actually run these here, our uptime is equal to 10 days and 16 hours, and now it's 2 minutes. So it works just as well as the get uptime. It is a little bit of extra steps, but if you do want to capture maybe at the same time, what is the local time on that computer? Who is it registered to? What version of Windows it's at? The operating system version of CimInstance is going to give you a bunch more information compared to get uptime. Now, another thing that we can actually do as well is we can actually check battery statuses with the Get-CimInstance. So if we do Get-CimInstance, we do the class name, we do win32 underscore, and we have a win32 underscore battery. So if we actually just look at that here, and we just run that, it gives us right away the estimated charge remaining is 94. So if we actually look at this computer right now, you guys actually don't actually see it. So let me actually just see if I could pull this up here, because it is actually behind my camera on the screen. I don't know if we will be able to see what the percentage is at. But the percentage of my battery right now is actually right here. It is actually 94%. So we actually see estimated charge remaining is 94. That's actually perfect. So it does give you a bunch of information. It'll give you the battery status, which is actually 2 because my computer is actually plugged in right now. It'll give you that it's using an internal battery. It'll give you some details on that battery, and actually just to show you guys, so as you can see right now, the battery status is 2 because it's charging. If I actually unplug the computer here and we run it again, we will actually see that the battery status is 1, and that is actually unplugged and using battery. So if we actually just let it this way, we would actually eventually see that the estimated charge remaining would actually go down, and that would actually update. Now, the estimated runtime is quite off right now because I usually leave this plugged in. So it's actually been estimating the runtime for quite a bit. But that is the gist of the battery. Now you can actually even see, if you wanted to see who was actually logged into the computer, you can actually do a Get-CimInstance class name, and then we could do a win32 logged on user. And if we look at that here, we can actually see that the name is JackedProgrammer. The domain is a local computer because this computer is not part of a domain. So again, with all of these commandlets, because they are all using Get-CimInstance, we're just using a different class name. You can actually use a computer name in here and run this remotely. You can also use the PS sessions and run them remotely, but I would just say use the parameter for computer name, put the computer name in there and get that info that way. And if you need to grab, maybe you want to check the status on all the batteries on your computers if they're all laptops. Maybe you want to make sure that who's logged on to the computer is actually who the computer belongs to. If you actually store that information somewhere in your inventory system, you can actually do that as well to make sure that laptops aren't being exchanged or computers aren't being exchanged between people. So there are a lot of options. And just to show you guys how many other class names there are, so if we do a Get-CimInstance here and we do a class name, we can actually see just in the Win32 options, there are a bunch of different options here. So you can see anything related to disks, operating system. There's tons of performance data as well. There is network information. There is a lot of information. There is BIOS information. You can get stuff on specific hardware, as we've seen it with the battery. You can get physical memory. So there are a lot of resources to use. There are tons of resources online as well that if you're looking for something specific, you could probably find a class for it to use with Get-CimInstance. But I did want to show you guys this commandlet because I think it is quite useful, and a lot of people don't necessarily know about it, or know about it because they've used it once or twice, but then often forget about it. I still often forget about it sometimes as well in some scenarios. So I hope you guys liked this quick tip. If you guys have a commandlet that you guys would like a little explanation on or a little bit of a deep dive on, please let me know in the comment section. I will do my best to do all of them for you guys, because I find like there is a lot of different commandlets that are super useful, and sometimes we just don't know that they necessarily exist. So it is a very useful thing, even for me. Maybe you guys have some commandlets that you guys want to learn and I don't even know them, and I will go and I will learn those commandlets and make a video for you guys. If you guys want to, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, also hit that notification bell to be notified when that next video comes out, and I will see you guys on the next video.